Chapter 9. How to write the abstract for academic conference. Lead in. Although the abstract will appear at the beginning of the article, write the abstract only after you have finished writing the paper's main sections. An abstract summarizes and highlights the major points. Its primary purpose is to enable readers to decide whether to read the work in full. So, prepare your abstract carefully. The abstract is simply a summary of what you will find in the article. It is not the article itself, and therefore should never be quoted. For those who intend to turn your written paper into a conference presentation, learning to write this sort of abstract is good preparation for writing an abstract for a conference. Abstracts are typically 200 to 250 words long. They are published with the longer works they condense, and can also be published separately in periodical indexes and by abstracting services. For this reason, an abstract must be readable, apart from the original document. Objectives. The students are expected to understand the definition, function, and structure of the abstract, identify descriptive or informative abstracts, learn the ways to soften generalizations. Tasks. Here is part of an abstract in a journal paper. The paper is entitled Relation Between Interactive Learning and Prior Knowledge. Insights from a General Education Program of Science and Humanities. The abstract is put at the very beginning of the academic text. There are 6 sentences altogether, as shown on the page 5 and 6. Discuss it with a partner and try to analyze the sentences and underline those stating the background, purpose, method, results, and conclusion. Have you completed the pair work? Now let's do the exercise altogether, based on what we have learned in the previous chapters. The first 2 sentences introduce the significance of the topic and also indicate the research gap directly. Sentence 3 provides the aim of the present study and some specific information on the courses investigated. The next sentence describes the method the authors have used. Sentence 5 briefly reports the result, and sentence 6 arrives at the conclusion. Key points. Depending on the kind of information they contain, abstracts are often classified as descriptive or informative. A descriptive abstract summarizes the purpose, scope, and the methods used to arrive at the reported findings. It is a slightly expanded table of contents and need not be longer than several sentences. An informative abstract is an expanded version of the descriptive abstract by summarizing any results, conclusions, and recommendations. The informative abstract retains the tone and essential scope of the original work, omitting its details. Structured or informative abstracts have subheadings similar to those in the paper: background, aim, method, results, conclusion. Here is another reading sample of abstract. Read it and answer the questions. Questions. Number 1. Analyze the structure of the abstract. Number 2. What tenses are used in the abstract? Is this usage common and conventional in your food? Question number 3. How does the author of this abstract approximate the precise numbers in the paper? What do you think of this? Answers. Number 1. Sentences 1 to 4 construct a descriptive section by covering purpose, method, and scope. Sentences 5 to 8 report findings. Sentences 9 to 10 are conclusion and recommendations. 2. Question number 2 present tense is used both in the section of purpose and in the section of conclusion and recommendations. However, past tense is mostly used in method and finding sections. The use of tenses here follows the general rule, and there would be exceptional cases in some foods. Give a tentative answer after having a discussion with your partner, or conduct a survey of several journal papers published recently in your field. 3. Question number 3. In the abstract, the author uses the phrases such as "were more prone to," "somewhat more," "are fewer than," to approximate the numbers in the paper. Language focus. Language focus is on ways to soften generalizations. Number 1. 3 classic verbs for carefully stating a generalization are the verbs appear to, seem to, and tend to. For example, children living in poverty appear to do poorly in school. Number 2. Another way to make a generalization more acceptable is to qualify or limit the subject. For example, many, a majority of, some, in most parts of the world, children living in poverty do poorly in school. 3. A third alternative is to add exceptions. For example, with the exception of, or apart from, or except for, those enrolled in specialized programs, children living in poverty do poorly in school. 4. Using weaker verbs. For example, many studies have concluded that excessive credit growth contributed to the global financial crisis. The verb contributed is weaker than caused. The results indicated that there is a link between smoking and lung cancer. The verb indicated is weaker than established. The survey results suggest that the reuse of sentences or sections from one's previously published papers is a questionable practice. The verb suggest is weaker than show. 5. Using phrases to distance yourself from the data by attributing your point to someone else or to other studies. For example, based on the limited data available, according to this preliminary study, in the view of many scholars. Summary. The abstract usually addresses 5 questions. What is the background of the study in the research field? What is the purpose of the study? How were the data collected and analyzed? What were the results or major findings? What are the conclusions or recommendations?